Okay, welcome to a drain walkthrough with a difference, a drain talk with a difference. This episode, we have a chat with Esk31, founder of Operation Under, and we go for a walk through the Hidden Arch in California. Esk31 has been exploring for decades. Thanks for taking the time to have a chat and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name's Esk31. I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. Got into exploring and graffiti around 1992. That's also when I picked up my name. I did some exploring as a little kid, but by the time I was a teenager in the 90s, I went a little further and ended up in weirder places, and I had more of a reason to be there.
Yep, good answer. So as we said, you've been exploring for decades. That leads us to the obvious question, Viagra or Cialis?
Viagra or Cialis? Well, it's just like, when I'm at home, yeah, Viagra, it's cool, it's fine. But when I'm exploring, I need to keep a clear head. I need something that's gonna hit properly and I can depend on. So, yeah, Cialis. Yeah, overall, my daily regimen, I go with the Cialis. But, if I can't get my hands on any, yeah, I'll crush up some Viagras, But I'm sure it's the same with everyone.
Do you get more out of exploring or painting drains?
Yeah, that's always a big question. What's more fun, exploring drains or painting them?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to say. They both have their ups and downs. Like I was saying, majority of the time it's me and Sick, and sometimes we go and we're just catching tags. But really, the goal of some of those trips is just to explore a system and see what's what, and then come back and paint it. And usually when we bring people, we've already explored that tunnel and we kind of know what to expect. Because especially if it's like an out-of-town person or someone like that, we don't want to have them go through all the hassle and then not be able to paint, or just kind of have a bunk tunnel. And yeah, the exploring's fun. A lot of the time we're on bikes, and with me and Sick, it's always like, damn, we gotta get back, but let's see what's around this corner. And that's how we end up finding shit, Like just recently, I was going through all this trouble to get to this tunnel, and it was like the last one in the system, and I went on multiple trips with multiple people, and I went on foot, and the miles added up quick, and then I finally got there with Paul Sand. Finally got to the end of the tunnel, and I vaguely start seeing some tags up high, and I'm thinking, who the fuck got this tunnel? And then I see it, and me and Sick had it from a few years before. We'd come from another direction. And, I had beat myself to the spot, but, it was cool. There's still plenty of room to paint, but, yeah, we number all the locations that we've painted or done something notable, but beyond that, we've been in hundreds of little tunnels where we just catch a tag or just go in it real quick to go in it.
Nice. Do you tell your non-exploring friends and family about your exploring?
Yeah, at this point, I think most of my family knows about my tunnel activities. especially because we'll be on a family trip, and I always branch off or have some ulterior motive to check out a tunnel or something like that. Yeah, we took a family trip to Hawaii, and I try not to inconvenience them too much, but yeah, I had my wife and my sister give me a ride in the rental car to go meet up with Red Sea, and then they're picking me up, and yeah, so they know about it. Sometimes I think it's maybe interesting to them, sometimes it's just a burden. Yeah, I try not to get into it too much because there's the obvious questions, but at the end of the day, I don't think they want to hear tons of detail about what happened in the tunnels. When we've made the small Operation Under books, I think it kind of makes a little more sense to outsiders of what we're doing, and we're kind of highlighting some of the cool stuff and just kind of cutting out the stuff they might not be as interested in. But yeah, outside of the family and all that, I try not to get into it too much. Yeah, because then they just see you as the dirty sewer guy, and yeah, I'd rather just skip it with most people.
What's high on your Urbex bucket list?
I think my bucket list is fairly long. I'd like to get out to Europe and see some of the older bunkers and tunnels, just from the stuff I've seen in videos and photos. There's a lot out there, and it's older and different from a lot of the stuff I've seen. Of course, I'd like to get out to Australia.
That'd be cool.
I gotta save up money for that ticket. And there's a lot of natural caves I'd like to see. I'd like to see a lot of the caves, the old Mayan caves down in southern Mexico.
Oh yeah, cool.
The Egyptian stuff. I mean, it's kind of endless. There's caves and tunnels around the world. Hopefully, I'll get to mark off a chunk of them before I'm done.
Hopefully.
But I don't know. I'm getting old already.
What got you into exploring?
What got me into exploring? I think I'm just a curious person in general. I wanna know what's over the mountain and what it looks like and what it smells like. I remember when I was like 3 or 4, going with my dad through a hole in the fence to a reservoir near our house. He was probably going to have a drink or smoke some weed.
For sure.
But for some reason that sticks out in my head.
Do you have any exploring highlights?
A lot of the times, especially when we're scouting, it's me and my partner sick, and some of the coolest stuff we found is the unexpected stuff, or the stuff when you push a little further. We found some chambers that we didn't expect to find, or shouldn't have really been there. There's been a bunch of them, and I don't know, those always end up being the payoff. For LA, finding stuff from the teens or 20s is pretty old. Sometimes we'll find stuff like that. It has 0 tags and is still intact, and it feels like it's just been waiting for us. Red Sea, an Operation Under guy over in Hawaii, took me to a World War II bunker out in the jungle, and that was pretty cool.
That's cool. Have you ever had an issue while exploring that just made you think, that's it, fuck it, I'm quitting?
It's usually the smell. You know, our systems out here are generally just stormwater, but sometimes you get patches of stagnant water with the sulfur smell and you're confined. But the shared systems, like I was down in Ecuador with Skur, and you know, it all looks beautiful, but I didn't factor that in, and it's definitely a shared system. And it's fucking harsh and humid. And I wish I had a respirator. Same with Kansas City. I mean, maybe I'm a bit of a baby about that, or I should just have a respirator on hand. But that fucking smell, it's like a mountain of diapers is just following you through the tunnels. And yeah, there's just days where I'm super beat when I get home, and my wife's not happy because I'm 4 hours late, and she was trying to text me. But at the end of the day, it's just stuff that makes you uncomfortable temporarily.
Have you ever come across any interesting smells while exploring?
To me, smells are a big part of exploring tunnels. Yeah, a lot of times they're nasty, as anybody who's ever been in a tunnel knows. But sometimes they're strange. We were in one pretty deep in, and we started smelling like a strong, like kind of, I guess it would be crude oil. And as we got in deeper, and it was an old tunnel, it was just kind of seeping out of the walls, which that area is known for. It makes me think, is it like a vein or something the petroleum industry hasn't tapped into yet, or is it seepage from another one? I've been in drains where there's like bleach or cleaning products coming down, and it kind of fucks with your head. I remember painting and smelling that, thinking like, oh, this is a clean tunnel.
Which urbex superpower would you choose for yourself?
I would say time travel, but I don't want to start messing with the space-time continuum, and you know, it could potentially fuck a lot of things up. So I'd probably say X-ray vision. You know, being able to look down through the street and through concrete walls, it would save a lot of time and reveal a lot. And you know, there's all kinds of other stuff, non-tunnel related, that you might want to look through.
Other than your everyday critters, what unusual critters have you seen while exploring?
Raccoons are the main one. Almost every tunnel I've been in LA, there's a lot more life than you might think in drains. I think it's the same everywhere. I'm sure in Australia there's a shitload of stuff living in there. Has signs of raccoons, footprints, little shit piles, fur. It's their highway. It's their mode of transportation, and it seems to work for them. My whole life I've seen them crawl out of gutters and, you know, squeeze in small cracks and get underground. There's not that many rats, luckily. A ton of roaches. Occasionally we'll see like a gopher snake or a turtle or something like that. I think they've just like fallen in and they're kind of stuck. Occasionally we'll come into like a little cluster of frogs. LA County's big and different areas have different environments, so we end up finding different stuff.
Do you have any tips for newer explorers?
Yeah, as far as tips, I don't like to give away too much. You know, I think people got to figure out exploration on their own, and you know that's kind of the fun of it, is figuring stuff out. But yeah, I think, you know, same as like what you guys say. If it rains, no drains. Like, those things are made to fill up quick. It's not worth fucking around. Like, they're gonna be there. You know, just wait till the weather's right. And yeah, you know, I go by myself occasionally, and just like as a personal rule, I try not to go too far in by myself, just because you got no reception, and chances are nobody knows where you're at. So, you know, people always worry about the crazy stuff that they think is going to happen, but, you know, it's like if you slip and, you know, you can't move or whatever, like, you're fucked. You're just going to sit there and rot. So, you know, to each their own, but I say, like, you know, try and buddy up, or just don't go too far in, because, you know, you don't want to be sitting there having, you know, raccoons and creatures nibble at you while you try and figure it out.
I'd just like to say thanks to Esk31 for showing me this awesome drain. That was great. Thanks for the chat. You're a gentleman and a scholar of the drain world. And I don't know, is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish up?
It's been cool talking to the original tunnel wizard, old school tunnel master. Yeah, man, thanks for taking the time to walk some drains with me and have the conversation. Yeah, man, if any CaveClan members are trying to check out any tunnels in LA, just hit us up ahead of time. Just give us notice, and you know, let's get an exchange program going.
Yeah, I hope.
Hopefully, I'll get out to Australia sooner than later.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I know you guys were talking about sending Grimbo out here. Trying to send him as like a corpse or something to cut down on the cost. I think he'll be fine in the confined space. So yeah, let's get it going. And thanks, Douggo. See you later.